The first reading comes from Jeremiah 31, 1-7. When we think about Jeremiah's career, we tend to think of him as an angry man, somebody who's constantly denouncing the evil that the people of Judah have done against each other and against the Lord. But some of the latter chapters in Jeremiah speak about a restoration, that the remnant of people will return to Judah, to Zion, to proclaim the Lord. That God has loved his people with an age-old love, and he will show mercy to them. The greatness of God is often seen not in the fact that God is all-powerful, but rather in the idea that God is all-merciful. Sometimes we think of mercy as a soft virtue. Somebody's complacent, somebody doesn't make waves. But mercy is actually a very difficult thing to show, because in mercy we forgive the other not because the other deserves it, not because the other has asked us, but rather we forgive the other because the other needs it. The other is broken, and all we want to do is heal that person with our brokenness, even if the manifestation of that person's hurt was to try to hurt us. We're concerned more with the hurt that the person has brought upon himself or herself than the hurt we're suffering. The Gospel is from Matthew 15, 21-28. Jesus is in the area of Tyre and Sidon. Now these are pagan territories. A Canaanite woman comes to Jesus and asks that he do something about her daughter who's tormented by a demon. At first Jesus didn't even speak to her. Remember, this is the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus has come for the lost sheep of Israel, not for the pagans, and this woman is a pagan. What does the woman say? Lord, help me. Jesus says, it's not right to give the food of the children to the dogs. Now that's very insulting. Dogs were considered unclean animals. They're not cute little pets in Israel. They're animals that eat carrion, so therefore they're considered impure. Was this an insult, or was it simply a saying that was common in these days? Whatever it is, the woman turns it around and says, even the dogs eat the crumbs from the table. Jesus is amazed by her faith, and he cures the daughter. This is one of those examples in the middle chapters of Matthew where pagans show a deeper faith than Jewish people. This woman, even though she was a bit rebuked by Jesus, nevertheless insists. It's almost what we hear in the Yiddish word chutzpah, a pushiness, a willingness to go outside of what is polite to what is needed. Jewish people often pray this way. One of the Psalms says, Lord, I'm really sick. You better heal me quick, because if I die, it's going to look bad for you. It's called chutzpah. And we have to remember that in our prayers, we're dealing with a real person, with God. And therefore, we have to talk to God in real terms, in honest terms. Not telling God what we think God wants to hear, but rather being honest, even if it's unpleasant. And may God bless us.